guys, my name's Danielle and welcome to my channel and welcome to another one of my wrap-ups and TBRs. This week I will be looking at what I read in February and what I plan on reading this March. My TBR from last month included 4 books, but I made it through 3, which I think is pretty good. The last book that I didn't get to was actually by choice. I had chosen to read the Peruse Utopia Book Club Book of the Month. I think it was called Alchemists of Loom. I went to the store to purchase it and it was only available in hardback and it was kind of expensive because it's a new book. And it wasn't one that I really was super into in the first place. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone as far as the typical genres that I like to read. So I decided to just bypass it this month and not fret about getting that one done or spending money on a book that I didn't think I was really going to like. The first book that I did read this month, though, was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is actually a book that I read because of a movement I'm doing this year where I'm trying to pick up old books that maybe I got partway through or maybe I purchased and never even started and just kind of get through them. So I'm choosing to maybe do one a month, maybe a little bit less than that because I don't have a super ton of these. I just want to get through the books that I read about halfway through. You can see here there's a big divot right where I left a bookmark in it and never made it through. So I decided to pick it up. I actually started this one back in January of last year in 2016. So I thought it was time to give it another try. This book follows the story of Diana Bishop. She is studying at Oxford and she is a historian, so she's always gathering up all these books at the library. But one day she summons a book called Ashmole 782 out of the depths of the stacks, and apparently this is a huge book that means a lot to the world of magic. So Diana is a witch, though she does not usually use her powers, and she kind of just doesn't want to be part of the magic world at all. But suddenly she's thrust into it when she calls this book, and the whole entire magic world wants it. She's followed by vampires and demons and other witches who all want to take this book from her, or at least find out how she got it to come out of the stacks. I'll have a full review of this book on my blog later this month, so make sure you follow it down below. I'll link my blog. You can go ahead and just follow that on Bloglovin and you'll get notified whenever I post something new. But a quick review on this one would be that I did not like it at all. There was a reason I didn't get through it in the first point. It just kind of got boring. So the level of detail in this book is extreme. From the beginning, I kind of enjoyed it because you expect a little bit of detail about the new characters, the new landscape, just everything about the new book. And the detail was fine then. And as you can tell, I made it about partway through it and I decided, wow, this is just too much. There was too much going on. She explained in detail about just too much, and I'm one of those people who I'm okay with detail, and I'm sure some people would enjoy it as well, but it was just so over the top. Everything was thrown in, every character, even major or minor, had the longest backstory that needed explained to us, and it was just a little too much. This book is actually part of the All Souls trilogy, so there's 2 more books after it. I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't own the other ones, but I might be reading them just for completeness because I'm kind of a perfectionist like that. But as far as the rating on this first book, I just thought it was just a lot in a first book. The next book I read last month was Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson. The month previous to this, so January, I read Speak by Anderson, and I enjoyed that one. There's a full review on my blog of that one up already, so I'll make sure to link that down below if you want to read about her books. But as far as this one goes, I liked it as well. It follows the stories of Leah and Cassie, who are best friends, and they're both suffering with eating disorders. But then suddenly at the beginning of the book, Cassie passes away, and this story follows Leah as she struggles with her own eating disorder and a loss of her best friend. I really enjoyed this book. I think it's a definite read for others, possibly those struggling from eating disorders as well. I would give it a high trigger warning though, because you're in the eyes of Leah and she talks about her eating disorder and the feelings she has about herself, which could be very triggering. Again, I will do a full book review over on my blog, so make sure you check that out. It'll come out later this month for sure. But a quick review on this is I think I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I sat down and read it all in one day, flew right through it. I enjoyed hearing what Leah had and her thoughts and just everything that was going on. I think it was just described very well. It was an interesting perspective that you don't always get, and I just think that it was really enjoyable to read and really heartfelt and meant a lot to read through. And the final book I read this month was All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven. This is another book that I flew through in about 2 days, so I was really feeling it and I really enjoyed it. It follows the stories of 2 characters from Indiana. They're high schoolers. It's Violet Markey and Theodore Finch. They become friends in an unexpected way at the very beginning of the book when they both share a kind of secret. But then they're thrust into the rest of the book together because Theodore says, hey, you know what, you're doing a project with me. And they're stuck doing this project together where they have to travel all over Indiana and visit all of these places and write a report about it. So this is just basically their journey through that and their own kind of quick quirks and things of that nature. So Theodore is obsessed with the idea of death. He talks a lot about suicide, and he just kind of talks about like the ways he would commit it or the ways that are stupid or things of that nature. And then Violet is so fascinated with just the idea of getting out of Indiana. She's stuck in this small town. She wants to go to college. She wants to experience something new. She wants to just get out of where she's from. So they go through these things together and they fall in love, as most girl and guy characters do, and it was just wonderful. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and a full review will be coming on my blog soon. So now we'll jump into the part of this video where I talk about what I'm planning on reading in March. And this month, I'm going to tackle an entire trilogy. So I got my boyfriend Red Rising for Valentine's Day. He hasn't really read much of the first one, and I've been reading it a little bit, so I think I'm going to push to try to finish the whole trilogy this month. I think it's something I can do. They're not huge books, and they're easily written, so I'll get through them no problem at all. Red Rising is a futuristic book set on Mars, and we follow the main character Darrow, who works in the lowest social class. So with this new futuristic book, they're divided into colored social classes. So for example, gold is the highest and red is the lowest. And red are the workers of Mars. They're supposed to be prepping Mars for the income of all of humanity onto Mars. So they're working underground, they're making it livable for humanity to come. Well, later on in this book, Darrow finds out that unfortunately he has been working this whole time and humanity is already here on Mars, and he has to figure out what this means for him. He feels so betrayed, and now the rest of the book he's going to hunt for his enemy because he's so angry that they've basically been working as slaves this entire time. So I'm about a couple chapters into the first book of Red Rising, and we're only a few days into March, so I'm hoping to finish this one within this week and maybe tackle one book every week for the rest of the month, and we'll get through the whole trilogy. I'll be posting another TBR and wrap up next month, so if you want to see how I did on reading the Red Rising trilogy, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Also, my blog will be linked in the description. There'll be companion posts from all my videos, as well as other posts that you don't see on YouTube on my blog, so make sure you check that out. That's also where I'll be posting all of my full book reviews as I read through this month. So make sure you follow all my links below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below and let me know what you plan on reading this month, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!